field, please raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone around to you.
Dylan, obviously you guys locked in the SEC title game now. Smile was in here and said that he woke up and found out on Saturday night. How did you find out? And obviously acknowledging y'all have a game before then, just what it means knowing y'all are going to be playing for another SEC championship.
Yeah, I mean, I found out pretty much the same thing as Smile. I woke up and pretty much found out. And it means a lot. I mean, of course it means a lot. I mean, we're super excited about it, but we got to take this weekend, and do it. We got to do, I mean, you can't eat one elephant, you can't eat an elephant all at once. You got to eat it one bite at a time. So, you can't focus on that. Just got to focus on what's important, what's in front of us,
Yeah, Dylan, I'm not sure how aware you are, but Brent Key hasn't exactly hid his dislike for Georgia. What has Key sort of maybe brought to this rivalry and changed about it since he's sort of taken over that program and become the head coach there?
Yeah, I mean, I know this rivalry's been on for, a very long time, and, I mean, they're a great team, I mean, they've got really good players and they've got really good coaching, I mean, I know he recruited me. I've developed a relationship with him, in recruiting, and so he's a great coach, and it's just going to be a great matchup. We're really looking forward to it.
Dylan, right over here, Coach had said after game on Saturday, you guys got a lot of rivalries. This one's significant outside of the factor that it's two teams in the same state.
Mm-hmm.
What makes this rivalry so special?
Yeah, I think there's the history. I mean, there's a lot of history behind this game. There's a lot of people that are invested in this game every single year, and I think that means a lot to us. It means a lot to our fans.
As you begin to go through the game week prep, what do you see from the defense at Georgia Tech? And obviously there's improvement, but how would you characterize what you see in terms of their level of improvement in the last 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, they're super physical. I mean, I know last year it was a gritty game. I think it was pretty cold, last year. I don't remember exactly how cold it was, but it was cold, and when there's late November, those cold months, like, it gets gritty, especially this night games. It's going to be a night game this year. So I think just, overall, like, their team, they're very well coached, I mean, they're just a good team.
Dylan, as an in-state kid, what did you know about Georgia Tech before you ever got to Georgia? And what do you feel like you've learned about what this rivalry means since you played in it?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up a Georgia fan, my dad was a Georgia fan and his brother's a Tech fan, so we always had like our own family traditions and rivalry, so it was fun, just growing up being a Georgia fan and just knowing like how important this game was. I grew up watching it too. I remember a ton of games watching Georgia versus Georgia Tech. So
is there going to be any trash talk between the family members this week?
Between the family members? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I was going to follow up on that. Does your uncle get a ticket for this week's game? And,
I don't think he's coming this week, actually.
And is your dad like hitting home, hey, I'm not having to have my brother talk for 364 days if this thing goes south?
That's funny, yeah.
Dylan, from the outside looking in, we look at your schedule, we look at attrition, injuries, we always hear about bumps and bruises. At this stage of the year, how do you or how does the team, how do you guys keep powering up for more of it when it's been such a grind and there is obviously some physical ailments across the team as well as just the mental exhaustion of what started last January?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of like really two things. Like you got to take the action every day into going to the training room and taking care of yourself, and also knowing like we have very limited opportunities. You're only really guaranteed 12 games a year. So taking advantage, knowing mentally like this, any one of them could be the last one for us. I mean, it's football. We don't know when our last snap's going to be. So just knowing that, combining that knowledge with just the action of taking care of yourself, really can prepare you for a game. And during the game, this could be it. You don't know. I mean, so just knowing that and just doing the actions, taking the action to actually go take care of yourself as best you can. Just combining those two things is probably the best way to do it.
As far as motivation, obviously to win, but beyond that, is there something bigger that gives you guys this team attitude, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, just doing it for each other. I mean, I think everybody knows, like, everybody's banged up. Nobody, nobody's body feels great at this time of year. So knowing that you really do it for each other, and just, for every single player, all 11 guys that are on the field, you never know when your last snap's going to be. So knowing that you can do what you can for your brothers is the motivation.
Dylan, I believe for this senior class, it would be the first one ever over a 4-year stretch to sweep Tennessee, Florida, and potentially Georgia Tech. What is the significance of that?
Can you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
Over a 4-year stretch,
Mhm.
would be the first senior class to sweep Tennessee, Florida, Georgia Tech 4 years in a row. What is the significance of that?
Yeah, I mean, for us, like, it's just taking it week to week. We're just focused on this weekend, and we just leave that up to people to decide.
Dylan, this is kind of a two-pronged question, but one, how well did you get to know Buster Faulkner while he was here? And then, and this part two, both Buster and Bobo and a bunch of other coaches on the staff have kids that are going to be playing playoff games on Friday night. Do you see any evidence of sort of that push-pull that these guys have doing their jobs, but not getting to see their own kids play? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I know that, all coaches across the country have families, and they sacrifice their time to be able to do what they do for us, and I know as like a player, I appreciate that, from Coach Bobo. I mean, I know he's missed time with his sons, and his family, since he's been coaching here. So I appreciate that personally, and I've got to know Buster pretty well. I mean, I know he's a great offensive mind, and he's a really good coach, So, I mean, just looking forward to the matchup.
You curious to see what a Friday night football game in Sanford Stadium will look like, and do you think it'll just be like, another night game in Sanford?
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's a unique atmosphere. It's a new. I've never done it. I don't think any of us have done it. And at least in the senior group, senior class, have had a Friday night game. So I'm just excited about it. I think it'll be a really good atmosphere.
Hey, could you talk about Nate Frazier's performance Saturday, kind of stepping up and really growing all year, but also Coach intimated that the Robinsons are getting closer and closer to maybe coming back. Just the running game in general and what your hopes and expectations are to maybe get that room healthy to help you guys out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nate. I've loved just being around him. Since day one. Like when he first got here, I was like, who's this kid? Like he's got a very awesome personality, and so just kind of seeing his youthfulness and like his personality kind of grow into his role here. His name has been called early. Probably earlier than even he expected. I mean, we've got a really deep team. And we have had a lot of injuries at running back. So him having to answer that call has been awesome. Just being able to watch it. He's just every week. I feel like he's trying to take one thing and fix it or make it better. And I really watched him do it, make those little tiny improvements. And so it's just really good to see. And I know for Branson and Rod, I'm super excited for both of them, to come back. I mean, just kind of give Nate a little, Nate, really Nate Dwight and Chauncey, all three of them have stepped up. But really those two coming back is going to be awesome, just giving them some more depth, giving us some more depth on offense.
I know you may not get to keep up with Friday Night Football with West Forsyth making a run of the quarterfinals. Just thoughts on the program and just what you've seen from them this year.
Oh yeah, they're awesome, man. I'm super proud of them, and I know Coach Fela's doing a great job. They do a really, really good job just really posting about it. Their media team has gotten a lot better. So I mean, just seeing that kind of grow, seeing the school grow is awesome. And I'm just really excited for their program in the future. And that's gulo. That's what they say. So.
To your left,
Got time for one more question.
Jaylen Walker was named in the finals for the Buckus Award. What do you respect most about his game, facing in practice, and what does he mean as a leader to this guy Kirby was talking about, his leadership and how he knows the right things to say at the right time?
Yeah, he's a great leader. He's probably one of our more vocal guys on the team. He does a really good job of just addressing the team when the team needs to be addressed. And he's just a stud player. You know, I mean, he's a really good player. I know a couple of people in here have asked me like what makes him so good. You know, like his bendability. I mean, the dude can bend like I've never seen. You know, so I mean, he's just a really good player. Great leader.
Thank you, Dylan.
Thank you.